Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. In the car, it's night. I like telling stories. I'm glad whoever it was asked me to tell more stories. But the weird thing with stories, man, is they only come up when they come up in your head, right? Are they really real, or are they just figments of your imagination? The electricity moving around in your brain, firing off some sort of memory. Did it ever happen? I don't know. But this is the story I have for you tonight. I love trains, man. Way into trains. I love the sound of trains. I don't know, there's something super cool about trains. Really into them. So, I used to live in Flagstaff, Arizona, right? And there was a train, the train tracks went right through the center of town, right? You could always hear the train come in, the whole thing. And, like, the college was on one side of town, and the town was on the other side of town with all the bars and whatever and stuff. Inevitably, if you were partying on any level, you would find yourself some sort of road rage going on out there. You would find yourself at the train tracks, right? And, oh, the road rager's coming up on me hard all of a sudden, dude. They're after each other now. Madness in the city of angels. So, people are crazy nowadays. So, you'd always end up at the train tracks, right? Always at some point you would end up at the train tracks. And a lot of the times you'd be on psychedelics, man, tripping. So this one time, me and my buddy and my girlfriend at the time, we were on something, tripping balls, and we decided to go down to the train tracks. Because you always end up at the train tracks, right? And we got all goofy and decided to lay in this ditch that was right next to the train, right? I mean, if there's the train tracks, the ditch was right between the two sets of train tracks, and it was like a berm, right? It wasn't that big of a ditch. It was basically enough to lay your body in, where if you touched it sideways, the top of the train track was right about the height of your head. And you were that close to the train tracks. Like, you know, you didn't have to extend your arm. It was pretty much just, you could poke it right there. So our big plan, because we're stupid human beings, was we were gonna lay there and have the train come over us, dude. So we're there, and the train comes, man, and it goes over us, dude. And, you know, like on whatever I think it was the Southern Pacific line, pretty freight, a lot of freight trains, and freight trains are long. So all of a sudden, this train's going over us, and we're tripping balls, and you realize it's not where you want to be. That the last place on earth you want to be is under the train, because the trains overhang a little bit, you know, enough where you're that, like, the thing's going right over your head at full speed. And you can't do anything about exiting from this situation that we're now in. And it's one of those where if there's anything hanging down from one of these trains, a little piece of chain, a little piece of anything, we're dead. So, gotta ride it out, right? This is one of these things that's like a character building moment in the three of ours lives, right? Because you've gotten yourself into this situation and you can't get yourself out of this situation till the situation is over. And I don't know if it was terror or sheer awe of the proximity of death, but we laid in that ditch, man, till that super duper long train finished going. And when that train was done, we got up and we ran away from that train ditch. And it was one of those things where, however loaded we were on psychedelics, we were scared sober, like scared back to normality for a while, and realized that basically, and I'll say this to this point, never in my life have I been closer to death than I was that night, laying under the train tracks. And it's a weird thing, and only people who live in a small town with a train running through it will understand this, that the train sucks you to it. That was not the last time we fucked around with the train at all. But it was the last time we laid down next to the train tracks with the train coming over. So radical, man. I think about that all the time. Just how utterly, like, if either of us, any of us, had lifted our head a little bit or raised a hand, gone. Probably would have killed the other ones of us too. It was just sheer stupidity. Sheer stupidity. And yet, something overrode the human instinct to run. And we survived. Don't play around the trains, kids. Don't play around the trains. They will get you if you play with them long enough. They're gnarly. I have a couple more train stories. I do have a couple good ones. One of them's tragic. The train did take some lives when I was there in Flagstaff. Every now and then, the train would smoke someone. Anyway, it's the illusion out on the road, thinking about trains. I love trains, man. Here we go. We got a train coming up in the dream. Yeah! Oh! I love that sound right there. Hey, don't forget, if you want to support this channel, support the dream, here's some marketing. I have t-shirts, the illusion the universe will provide, right? Ain't buying into the status quo. That's right. And the secret to perfection is imperfection t-shirt. That's on my Big Cartel site. On my Etsy site, I've got art, upcycled wood frames, custom made. I've got illusion art. I got stuff for you to buy, put on your wall, put on your body, and support the dream. Thank you.